National Aeronautics and Space Administration presents Aeronautics and Space Report. These jets landing at a large metropolitan airport may one day do so a lot quieter because of this small creature, an owl.
When we examined the wing of an owl, we found that there was a serrated or a fine comb of feathers on the leading edge which pointed forward into the flow. And this comb or serration of feathers was the thing that we copied out of metal to form a rake which we placed on the leading edge of a rotor blade. And by simply copying this serrated feather, we found that we could indeed reduce the noise of a small rotor model, even though at that time we didn't understand how it worked. That started a series of research projects to uncover the aerodynamic and the acoustic effects of serrations on reducing noise.
Paul Soderman is an engineer with the Army Air Mobility R&D Lab at NASA's Ames Research Center in California.
If it turns out that the serration does reduce the noise of fan noise of jet engines, it would mean that the approach noise of aircraft approaching airports would be reduced, and it would mean less of a whine that people would hear as aircraft approach airports.
Helicopters present a different kind of noise problem, especially as the helicopter blade slaps the air. Saw-toothed rotor blades appear to be a promising way of reducing this noise also. Many future tests will take place in this 30 by 20 foot soundproof room. Walls, ceiling, and floor are covered by foam wedges.
And these wedges absorb the sound such that there are no reflected sound waves from the walls, and we can make acoustic measurements in the room without worrying about contamination from reflected noise. It's the same as going out into free space and measuring noise, but now we can do it in a laboratory condition. From the wings of owls may come the ability to make tomorrow's airport a quieter place. The threat of fire in space is one that has challenged researchers for many years. Nearly everything in their spacecraft and worn by men in space has been tested for its fire resistance. As a result, there now exist materials made for space use that may one day make your home a lot safer from fires. The Battell Institute in Columbus, Ohio, recently completed a series of experiments to test out these space-age materials. This room, furnished from a local department store, was set on fire using a crumpled newspaper. Here's what happened. To better illustrate the burning sequences, the film speed is about 5 times faster than it actually was. Within 50 seconds, heat became intolerable. After 82 seconds, there was so much smoke that a person standing in the back of the room could not see the doorway. Within 8 minutes, the room had been reduced to charcoal. By contrast, a similar fire was set in an identical room. This time, furnishings, wall, floor, and ceiling coverings were constructed of materials developed by NASA for the Man in Space program. In this room, only the newspaper was destroyed, and the fire went out in 12 minutes. Fire retardant materials. If used effectively, the danger from residential fires may one day be radically decreased. This has been an Aeronautics and Space Report presented by NASA, the National Aeronautics and Space Administration.